Yo, what's up boys, it's Eds, and today is going to be the heavily requested comparison of the GK61 with optical yellow switches versus the SteelSeries Apex Pro TKL. In today's video, there are going to be 3 categories where I rate how highly each keyboard has scored out of 10. Then at the end, I'll add up the scores, obviously leaving us with an on-paper superior keyboard. Finally, I'll be explaining which keyboard is for you if you're in certain circumstances. Hope you find this video helpful, and enjoy. So, the first category is going to be performance, and which keyboard gives you the biggest edge over your opponent. On paper, the GK61 is faster than the Apex Pro, with an actuation point of 0.2 milliseconds and a response time of 0.7 milliseconds, whereas the GK61 has an actuation point of 1mm and a response time of 0.2 milliseconds. What this basically means is if you only push down 0.4mm on your switch, the Apex Pro is going to be faster. If you bottom out your switch or go anywhere further than 1mm, which is basically everyone, the GK61 is going to be the faster keyboard. Is this noticeable? Well, in my opinion, I think yes. I've significantly improved after buying the GK61 due to the fact that I bottom out the switch, and the GK61 is 10 grams lighter when it comes to the amount of force needed to bottom out the switch. Not only this, but the switches feel deliberate, meaning you can easily tell when you've pressed a key, and that it is easier to not make mistakes. This is if you have the actuation point of the Apex Pro on 1, which is the fastest setting. Overall, I think the GK61 gives you a bigger advantage over your opponent unless you use a hover press, which is impossible if you haven't adapted to it after owning the Apex Pro. Therefore, I'm going to give the GK61 a score of 9 and an Apex Pro a score of 7. This is because the Apex Pro is still extremely fast, although not being as fast as the GK61. Category 2 is going to be how durable and how practical the keyboards are. The Apex Pro shines in this category, having multiple function keys, including a volume control, an LED screen, which can be used to customize the keyboard and display images and GIFs of your choice, as well as the temperatures and speeds of your PC, which can be done via the software, which is a lot more in-depth and capable than the GK61 standard software. The GK61 is also somewhat practical, being 60% and wireless. This is a massive pro if you're looking to travel with this keyboard. Not only this, but the GK61 has a detachable cable, where the Apex Pro does not. The Apex Pro also has a very wide wire, not being very convenient. Moreover, the Apex Pro is more durable with a better build quality and better quality keycaps. However, the Apex Pro is £120 more expensive, so this is to be expected. The GK61 still has an exceedingly good quality for the price. The stabilizers are impressive, although not quite as good as the Apex Pro. Overall, the Apex Pro takes this category, scoring an 8, and the GK61 scores a 6. Category 3 is going to be about aesthetics. The Apex Pro has brighter RGB and better keycaps, although they still aren't as good as they should be for the price. Despite this, the Apex Pro has a cleaner font and overall is more customizable. The GK is better if you're looking to buy keycap sets and a custom cable, and if you prefer the look of a 60% layout over a TKL, which personally I do. In my opinion, the GK61 is better looking after new keycaps. For example, I have added white pudding keycaps, which also look amazing, and the comparison will be on the screen now. But out of the box, the Apex Pro features better keycaps, better RGB, and more customizable lighting effects. It also features an LED screen, which is very clean and unique, adding to the overall aesthetic. Therefore, the GK61 scores a 6 and the Apex Pro scores an 8. This is because the GK61 can look incredible after customizing it, but out of the box, the Apex Pro is just more aesthetically pleasing, unless you're a massive fan of the look of a 60% layout. Overall, what does this mean? This means that the Apex Pro is a better all-round keyboard and on paper. Although if you want pure performance, maybe like a 60% keyboard, or you want a cool keycap set and a nice custom cable, or possibly you're on a budget, then buy the GK61. Personally, after using both keyboards, I have mained the GK61 since I prefer it much more, and if someone asked me which one I could have if I didn't have both, it would be the GK61. I think it is such a good value, and I've seen an improvement in my gameplay after switching to the GK61. I prefer the feel of the switches and now find the Apex Pro switches mushy and do not like the feel of them. Even though on paper the Apex Pro is better, I would rather have the GK61. Overall, it comes to what you're looking for, and if you want a keyboard that all round doesn't disappoint other than in a few areas like the non-detachable cable, or maybe you type a lot and want to be able to customize the actuation of your switch, then buy the Apex Pro. If you have the money to buy one and you think you'll benefit from the extras not found in the GK61, like the adjustable switch or LED screen, buy the Apex Pro. If you're looking for pure outright gaming performance and the best keyboard for Fortnite, buy the GK and it won't disappoint. The fact that a £60 keyboard can compete with an £170 keyboard is astonishing, and GK have really done an amazing job. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. Like and subscribe and let me know down in the comments if it was. Hopefully it guided your purchase. Overall, it's completely what you're looking for, and it's up to you personally. Thank you for watching, and if you would like to see gameplay with both keyboards, there are videos up on my channel. Peace.